Hey guys, I'm RedHerring and we're doing some StarCraft casting today. I haven't put one of these videos out in a little while and I apologize for the lack of content from me, but just getting it back into college and all that stuff kind of been a bit busy. But yeah, I will be trying to get out regular content from now on. Now I've kind of settled back into my school schedule and stuff, so if you guys are excited to resume the cast from myself. And yeah, Heart of the Swarm beta should be out soon, I guess, and I'm definitely excited to play that. Hopefully we'll be putting out content of that beta for you as soon as I get a beta key. And yeah, so this is going to be a Pros with Protoss, as you guys may have noticed. Spawning down in the bottom left of Daybreak is myself, the red Protoss, and up in the top right of Daybreak is LGAchilles, the blue Protoss. So a PvP, and as we can see, the builds are basically identical. There's really not much variation this early in a PvP aside from any cheese, but as you can see, there is really no cheese at this point that we can tell. And so we're just going to be settling into this game. This was quite intense, and I really enjoyed playing it. This was played a couple days ago. There goes the gateway down for myself, and his gateway just like a couple seconds ahead of mine. Sending out our scouts. He's checking for that proxy. Definitely needs to make sure that I'm not going for a 2-gate proxy or anything. I actually don't check around for that. Maybe I should have done that, but we'll just be heading straight to his base, and he now doing likewise. My gas goes down again slightly, actually a couple seconds ahead of his. So our builds are pretty much identical though. There goes that second pylon. Let's see if I'm going to put my second pylon down. Looks like I actually don't have the money for that. I queued up probes instead, and I'm actually going into that gas geyser, whereas his gas is a little bit later, so he does get more mineral mineage slightly from that. Oh, my pylon's up here, that's where it is. I was like, I know I put a second pylon down somewhere. There's that probe going in to scout my base. He sees Cyber Export, Gateway, gas, pylon. Definitely no cheese from me. You can definitely tell in a PvP if your opponent's cheesing just because you don't see buildings in his base, and that means he's proxying them or he's doing some weird stuff. You can see me guarding that gas geyser, and it actually prevents him from putting a gas geyser down. Looks like he might try to get that. There he does. And I wasn't really trying to steal it. I did go for my second geyser, but I wasn't really trying to steal it. I was just kind of patrolling around, making sure that I just want to keep tabs on it, basically. Make sure that if he was 4-gating, I would know. And when I've scouted this, it doesn't look like he's 4-gating, because he did have high chrono boost, but he also got that second gas, and a lot of times 4-gators won't get that second gas. But look at this. This is really sneaky. He actually has 2 guys in that gas geyser, and let's see if he's, yeah, it's going to be 2 in each gas geyser, and this is something a lot of Protoss players do to try to fake out an opponent and go for that 4-gate, is actually not fully saturate those gas geysers, which is really smart because it allows you to fake the opponent into maybe ecoing or going more greedy style than he would if he was only 1 gas and he would assume a 4-gate. He is going to be going a 4-gate. So we'll see if I can hold it. And a lot of PvP in the 4-gate versus non-4-gate build. Actually, am I going for a 4-gate? No, so I have 3 gates right now. Going for that quick 2-gate and chrono boosting that warp gate as fast as possible. A lot of PvP in 4-gate versus non-4-gate builds comes down to the force field. Hold the ramp. If you can hold the ramp as a defending Protoss player, you are in a great position as long as you don't let units trickle up the ramp or anything. So this early game here, the first minute, from 5 minutes till 6 minutes, is the toughest part for a defending Protoss player against a 4-gate, because you simply don't have warp gate until a little bit after they do. So it just finishes right now. So actually I'm not that far behind on my warp gate, which is kind of nice. And I do have 3 sentries out, so I've already kind of come prepared for this. I think my original plan here was to go for a 3-gate robo, and then noticing the 4-gate, noticing the forward pylon, I actually decided to throw down that 4th gate just to be safe. So with 5 sentries here, there's no way these odds are getting up. As long as I can land crisp force fields, which I've done perfectly for now, I should be able to hold this pretty decently. So we'll see what my tech choice is, and this is going to be a robo. And then just a tip for you guys: if you guys are holding a ramp in a PvP situation, and you have a lot of sentries, you just put them on hold position, because if you kind of don't put them on hold position, when his enemy units come probe up the ramp and you put the force field down, it actually your sentries will actually, oh nice micro there, pulling that one back, but your sentries will actually kind of lurch down the ramp to try and attack his units, and if he's good and he has a sentry, he will actually force field and trap your sentries on the ramp and kill them with all of his stalkers and stuff. So it's just really a messy situation if you don't hold position to your sentry, so please do that, guys. It saved me many times, just keeping them out of danger, making sure they don't aggro unnecessarily. Here I am going out, checking for that proxy pylon. There it is right there. Hopefully he should nab that. And he's actually warping in. I don't know if he realizes that I'm out on the map. He has a lot of zealots, but if we look at what his tech choices, it's actually going for a Dark Shrine and a Robotics Facility, so he actually got that Twilight Council really early, has a lot of Chrono Boost. He's actually teching for Dark Templar. Lucky for me, I do have a Robotics Facility, but there will be a timing, if I don't get a second Observer out, that his Dark Templar will warp in at this pylon, sneak into my base, kill the Robotics Facility before I can get a second Observer out, and by the time this initial Observer comes all the way back from checking his base, it'll be a lot of damage that I don't want to take. So hopefully I can get another Observer out. I'm actually going for Immortal right now, so let's see. His Dark Shrine's almost done. This is actually going to be close. It's going to be close. He has a lot of units out here. I have a lot of sentries. Maybe if I can detect this Dark Templar and force field this ramp. I see it. That is so pro. So you can see my vision there. There's the Dark Templar. You can see it, the blur in the mini-map. And I actually force field the ramp. Keep the Dark not panic force field there, but keep the Dark Templar out of my base. And that is pro. And it allows me to get this Observer out. And a no-mess situation for me. But he does break it with that Archon. He actually morphed 2 Dark Templar into Archon, warping in 4 Zealots here, trying to hold with this pylon here, actually taking up surface area, focusing down the Archon. Let's see how my micro is here. I'm actually trying to focus. I should focus down this Dark Templar here. Lose a sentry there. These 2 Zealots working on that. Oh, nice force field there, killing that Dark Templar and trying to save the sentry. Nice clutch force field to save that one sentry there, focusing my Zealots on that Stalker, hoping it will go down, and it does go down. And having these 2 sentries out, should be trying to focus that Stalker or the Dark Templar, not the Zealot, trying to micro my sentries back, and looks like they're doing a great job. Nice force field to trap in. Should have tried to save that Stalker. Nice pullback on that Stalker, and I am definitely going to clean up that attack with little mess. So let's look at the units lost tab. I definitely came out ahead on that engagement, and I have a bunch more Harvesters than him. So let's see if I can actually capitalize on the little advantage that I have. Now he does have a Robotics Facility, and his Observer coming out. I wonder if he'll be able to take out my Observer. Do we see each other right now? We don't. So if I actually decide to patrol in there, and I do, if he warps in a Stalker or 2, we will be able to take this out. There's the Stalker. I do notice that, as you can see. I'm clicking on it right now. I'm trying to get out of there as fast as possible. I'm definitely not going to make it. No, the Stalkers are going to pick it off. So down it goes. That's unfortunate. But I do have another Observer to detect for Dark Templar running into my base. Always good to have at least 2 Observers out, especially if they're Dark Templar. It's basically a necessity to have 2 Observers out if the enemy has Dark Templar. So my expansion is going to be a step ahead of his, and he's going for that charge out Archon force. As you can see, him kind of boosting out that charge. So we'll see if my kind of more robotics bay or robotics facility oriented army will be able to destroy his charge lot Twilight kind of based army. But it's going to come down to positioning. A lot of PvP is positioning, as you guys know, especially in these non-mirror army composition fights. You know, he's going to be looking for that surround with those Archons and charge lots to break force fields and kind of get the little lynch with his Zealots. So it's going to come down to me engaging in chokes as much as possible and trying to use those to my advantage. Looks like my probe is running up, trying to scout for any third, I guess, or trying to make up my way up to the natural. Don't actually get that off, and he's actually running his Stalkers up. Going to be focusing that pylon. I'm actually going to try and save it by warping in 2 Stalkers and 2 Zealots, and he realizes got to get the heck out of there. And does have the Observer there. Realizes my army is on the move, and you know, I decided to warp in here just because I didn't have another proxy pylon. This is my only proxy pylon. He killed the proxy worker that I kind of sent, the scouting probe, which was my only other way of making another proxy pylon. So I kind of had to either save it or just not push for a little while. And I decided to push now, as his expansion is just up. So this is actually gonna be a great window. Meanwhile, he has his probe shown down. Might make another proxy pylon there. I need to focus these Immortals on the Stalkers and try and take down those Archons as fast as possible. There's the force fields. This one didn't really do anything. But the other ones are nice. Bottlenecking those Zealots and shredding everything. And those Archons are going down so fast. And that Observer is... Oh, he targeted down that Observer. That is so pro. And you'll see why. He actually is warping in. There it is, the Dark Templar. So he actually focused down my Observer with his. with the stalkers because he has his observer, and now the Stark Temple can go to work. I don't have any means of detecting that, so all of these units here are going to be pushed back by this one unit. That was really nicely done by LGAchilles, and I'm going to have to wait. I warped in the units, but I can't do anything about this one Dark Temple without detection, and I'm trying to warp or build this observer as fast as possible. I have another one here, so I'm going to have 2 observers out on the map again. And as soon as I get that guy out, I should probably do another push because he was looking pretty weak. I did a lot of damage there if you look at the units lost tab. Not super far ahead, but definitely a substantial amount. And it's actually keeping even in that Harvester tab, which is really nice for him. We'd like to see a transfer, and there they go. A little bit late though. As you can see, I've actually had a lot of time at this expansion. If you look at the spending tab, I've outspent him in the army and economy significantly. His technology is above my spending, so I guess that's good for him in that regard. Sniping down that probe on the tower and going in for another push. So let's see if I can end it here, warping in more guys. Sentries, actually, because I was a bit gas heavy. Still am, actually, a little bit. And have a lot of immortals. 4 immortals. That's a good amount. And warping another pylon there. Let's see if I can actually take out this Archon force. He doesn't have that much. And looks like trying to power down those zealots. Just raw brute force. Shredding his guys. All 4 immortals still alive, and you know, he realizes there's really no hope. This is just a solid ball of death. So it does call the GG and leaves the game. So that is a win for me, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Took something from this game. PvP, you know, PvP is kind of crazy. There's so many different builds that you can go. Phoenix, you can go Immortal, you can go Fast Expand. It's kind of a tight shot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and comment, subscribe. Let me know what matchup you'd like to see next, and I'll have more games out soon. Thanks, guys.